Today we will be installing a telephone jack into the living room here. This is long overdue. I started this project quite some time ago. I put the computer jack in, but I never finished it. So I gotta finish putting the telephone jack in, and then I gotta fix the wall. This is gonna be a little dodgy because I'm not really sure where the other end of that wire is, and I also don't have any RJ11 sockets. I only have RJ45 sockets. I went to buy a new RJ11 and I discovered why I don't have any. For some reason, even the cheesy, cheap, made in China ones are between like $12 and $15, which I'm not willing to pay. So I'm just gonna have to wait for one to show up at a tag sale or Goodwill or something, because they do show up on occasion. But since I don't know when that will be, we're just going to fudge it today and use a 45, and I'll just have to make a custom phone jack that has an 11 on one end and a 45 on the other, because I don't think so that these will properly fit an 11. We'll check it. Sometimes they do. Well, let's see. I gotta get some more RJ11s here. Running out. There's a lot of phone wiring lately. Well, it actually does work, so maybe we won't have to do anything weird. I had a feeling that was going to get stuck in there. Oh, but I did it anyways. Okay, so let's take a look downstairs at what's going on. I really don't want this to break. I don't have a lot of these left. Oh. That completely broke the... Okay, so that doesn't work. And I gotta get a new socket. That completely ruined the pins. So we can't do it that way. Sometimes you can, I guess these you can't. I guess we'll just start by putting an RJ45 connector on this wire. And we'll put the green pair in the center, because we can do, put the green pair in the center, and we'll go downstairs and we'll connect something to the other end of this cord that's down there, which I think is the right one. There's only one that would really make any sense, so hopefully that's the one. But the cord that I'm thinking of is excessively long, and since the wire is not cheap, I don't think I would have done that just for no reason. But I cannot fathom what the reasoning would be at this time. So I'm afraid to cut it and then find out later on that there was some kind of reason. But I just don't remember. Okay, so that should be hard time seeing it. But I think that should be good. So then now, well, we'll use the bottom one because I just broke the flipping top one. Use the bottom one. I'll have to make it another custom connector there for that. Well, let's go downstairs and take a look at what we got down there. Here's where things get kind of confusing. So we have this wire here, which is not terminated. This, I believe, is the one that I just put into the garage a few weeks ago. This is not the same kind of wire that's coming out of the wall upstairs. This is the same kind of wire that's coming out of the wall upstairs. It's not terminated, but what I don't know is why the heck is it so long, because there's got to be another 15 or 20 feet here, and I just don't see why I would have done that for no reason. The only thing I can think of is maybe it was the end of the spool and I just left it like this, although even that just doesn't really quite make sense either. So I don't know, before I sit here and untangle this, let's just go ahead and tack a connection onto the end of this, and let's see if we end up getting signal upstairs. I don't know. It's very, very suspicious as to why it's like this. It really doesn't make any sense. I might have to go back and watch the video and see if I talk about it in the video, because that might offer some clarity to the situation, potentially. Okay, that's in the 2 center pins. Right, yep, okay. So let me plug this in and let's go upstairs and let's see what's transpiring, if anything. And before we can test it, we have to make that custom phone cord. So I got a piece of wire here. Phone was here like that. Actually, this is a fine length. In this case, we're really only interested in the white and green. So I'm just going to cut the rest of them off. That went to the plant? It did. I don't want no wire in a plant. Alright, so on one end of this cord, we'll put this 45 connector. This is a bit too long. Let's make sure it's in the center. It is. And on the other end, we'll just put a regular phone 45 or 11. Phone 11. Yeah, I feel like this might be a problem. The jacket doesn't really fit inside the plug. Well, I think I've got it in enough to make the crimp. Yeah, I do. Okay, so now come back over here and this will go into the one that's not broken. This will go into the one that's not broken. And this will go into a telephone. Here's a telephone. Let's plug in this telephone and see what happens. Huh, it works. Ain't that something? I'm actually a little bit surprised. Alright, so we now have a good phone run into this room. The question remains is why on earth is it so long? I'm gonna have to cut it because there's no reason that I can see for it to be that long unless it's not routed properly or something. Let's go ahead and stick this back in here. This is leaking a lot of cold air, so I'm happy to put this back finally. Close this up. Well, I'll go into the garage and I'm going to look through, I'm going to trace this run through the ceiling because it's all open. And I'm going to make sure that it's routed the way that it should be. And as long as it's routed the way that it should be, I guess we'll just cut it. I don't know. It's weird. Very weird. It really doesn't make any sense at all as to why it's like that. You may never know. That's the reality of it. I just traced the whole line from beginning to end, and I can't fathom any reason why it's like this. There's nothing wrong with the run. It's routed everywhere the same way that everything else is. There's no areas that are lacking in slack or whatever. It's perfectly normal. So I don't know. I'm confused. So I'm cutting it. I'll leave enough. I like to loop it once in case I ever need to move some things around here. And that's it. Well, if there was some reason why that shouldn't have been cut, whatever it is, I'll have to deal with it later if I ever discover it. The only thing I can realistically think of is that it was just the end of the spool and I didn't cut it. Jeez, we're filling up here. I'm almost going to have to put a second, or a fourth rather, a fourth connection in. I recently redid all this with these Velcro straps, And what a big improvement. It's so much easier now to come in here and add or remove something if needed. Okay, so that's now patched. It's confusing, and it might forever be confusing, but at least it works. And now for the telephone, we have the best telephone ever made, the 2500 desk set. So it did come with a line cord, but we don't need that for this particular situation. This is a brand new 2500 by Cortelco. Just bought it a couple days ago. Should have the bell ringer, dual gong. Yep. It's not like the old, it doesn't sound quite the same, but it is still a bell ringer. And my cordless phone will just kind of sit there next to it. Set it to loud, and I'll go ahead and call it up now. It's not working. The heck? Is this dodgy or what? Oh yeah. Not good. I think the cord is flaky. Yeah, it is. Okay.
Hello. One is available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
So what happened? Doesn't look that. I mean, it is totally flaky, but it doesn't look like it's that flaky. It's not flaky. What the heck is going on here? It's working properly now. That was peculiar. Well, whatever, it's working now. Ah! So there we go. The living room telephone is working. It's not the greatest, but when I find a proper jack, I'll replace it and then it will be the greatest.